Perk your ears up, Flat Earthers, because this week's episode of Smiling Friends is for you. As Pim, Charlie, and Bill get abducted by aliens, they must traverse not only the galaxy, but a friggin' rad party. They're pushed to their limits with pranks and substances as the aliens decide whether they're cool or just a bunch of squares. Hey everybody, welcome to Groovy Smoothie. My name is Jake, the resident stoner who watches too many cartoons and horror movies. Make sure to like this video and subscribe, if you'd like. You don't have to, but it would be super lame if you didn't. I do really appreciate everyone that's been watching these weird little Smiling Friends review videos as I find my groove again as a YouTuber. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in the comments. Alright, that's enough stalling so we can get mid-rolls. Let's get into the review. Episode 6 starts off with Pim and Charlie driving the Smiling Friends mobile as they head to a UFO watch in the middle of a cornfield. Charlie is doubtful that Pim's friends are actually cool as he's looking to make this Saturday night more of a rager. Pim reassures him though that his buddies are total party animals. This ends up being questionable as they roll up to meet Bill, Fillmore, and Duncan. Bill is very mild-mannered and milquetoast compared to Fillmore, who is a full-blown flat earth conspiracy theorist. He even believes there's a dome around the entire earth. That's a new one even for me. There's also Duncan, who may not get a word in, but he does eat too many animal cookies and throws them up. I think I relate to him the most in this episode. Fillmore is voiced by popular animator David Firth, who is best known for creating salad fingers. You gotta love rusty spoons. This isn't David's first time on the show either, as he voiced Shrimp in one of my favorite episodes from season 1. Dude has had a versatile career not only in viral animations for his YouTube channel, but also contributing animations to TV shows, movies, and music videos. He frequently collaborates with Flying Lotus on various projects like Cusco, a movie he co-wrote with the guy that isn't for the weak-stomached, and producing a music video for the Fly Low song Fire Is Coming that features none other than director David Lynch. It is very bizarre.
The yellow phone on the wall started ringing.
He is one of the many sturdy examples of online content creators that have had successful careers outside of the internet. Also, to sidebar this sidebar, one time Flying Lotus sent me a message about my VHS 99 coverage on my second channel, and I still think that's one of the coolest things that has ever happened. I am such a big fan of these two. Bored out of his mind, Charlie threatens to call an Uber when Pim suggests trying out the experimental alien beacon device. Bill instead reveals a theremin that Charlie immediately points out. He says he knows what it is because his uncle used to have one in his band, The Red Gapers. Considering that this episode is about alien abduction, I really thought The Red Gapers was some sort of nudge towards anal probing, but this episode doesn't really feature that at all. I guess there's a whole website where you can find that kind of stuff though. Okay, seriously, they probably wanted to avoid copying South Park, that notably had a plotline including anal probing in its pilot episode.
There's an 80-foot satellite dish sticking out of your ass. Sure, you guys, whatever.
I think that's enough talk about butt stuff. I'm sure the algorithm is already going to punish me for that. Suddenly, Charlie, Pim, and Bill get abducted by an alien spaceship. They wake up to find Bill half-eaten by familiar-looking aliens. You might remember these fellas from the fantasy episode last season. Suddenly, again, the alien spaceship is abducted by an even bigger alien spaceship. I'm starting to think this episode was written with some Mary Jane hanging in the air. The aliens leave to go check it out as Pim and Charlie escape. They encounter another type of alien on the larger craft who shockingly asks them for a lighter in English. Not being able to help the extraterrestrial, they follow him into a party filled with different life forms. Maybe it's not fair to compare here, but this part of the episode just feels so Rick and Morty to me. It doesn't help that these two air on the same network either. The aliens tell stories to each other that sound almost exactly like what I've heard from bros at frat parties, as Charlie and Pim try to fit in and ask for a ride home. The aliens are put off by this and ask if the two are squares. Rightfully terrified by the unknown cosmic consequences that might await them, the two reluctantly agree to party. During this montage, we see Pim and Charlie drink space liquor, take alien drugs, and smash distant satellites. Awakening from their hangover, Charlie and Pim ask again if they can be taken home now that they've proven that they're cool. The aliens say they have one more thing to do tonight and that they've saved the best for last. They're going to vaporize an entire planet brimming with life, one of the most ancient civilizations in the galaxy. Opposed to the mass genocide and unforgivable actions mission this would certainly be, Pym refuses. The aliens then threaten to place both of them within a torture device that would make every second feel like 1,000 years. They apparently placed someone in there for not putting a CD holder up their ass. Huh, I see that Zach and Michael read Stephen King. It's eternity in there. With their hands forced, Pym and Charlie reluctantly blow up the planet. The aliens then tell them that it was all a prank. Get wrecked, dude. The torture device is actually just an LED from Alibaba. Charlie cusses out the Fretalians as the space cops show up in an even bigger ship. Christ, there are a lot of big ships out in space. The cops have them in their blinking tractor beam for destroying public property, which is so funny. The aliens scatter as Pym and Charlie steal the keys to the smaller UFO from earlier. They escape on the ship and route back to Earth. Pym and Charlie have a moment of relief and reflect on their crazy Saturday night. They also talk about torrenting the Alien Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I would love to play that too, but there's no way it has a better soundtrack than the one we have here on Earth. They arrive home only to find out that the planet is indeed flat and that Fillmore was entirely right down to the glass dome. Easily the best joke of this week's episode. This had me in stitches. They vow never to tell anyone about what they've learned as this episode concludes. During a post-credit scene, we see Fillmore and Duncan in jail where they have to tell an officer that they didn't kill their friend. The officer dismisses this as Duncan throws up on himself again for a little double beat. Episode 6 was definitely one of the weaker installments this season, but it was totally saved by that ending twist. I think I could say the same about a few episodes in this entire show though. Despite its wacky antics, I feel like a lot of the jokes in this episode just didn't hit as hard as some of the ones in the past 5. Regardless, the Earth being flat was really unexpected and hilarious. There is a part of me that wishes these episodes were 22 minutes long opposed to like 10 or 12. If there's any shortcoming I'm starting to notice about this show is how rushed some of the storylines feel. I think they could tell an even crazier story with these same ideas in slightly longer episodes. It would be cool to see that happen for the inevitable season 3, but what do I know? Season 2 of this show is poppin' right now, and I'm so happy for its success overall. Still not a dud in this season though, but of course, some episodes will always be better than others. Smiling Friends continues to be of high quality, and I'm really excited to see next week's episode. In the tease for episode 7, the boss takes Pym on a trip and gives his incredibly tiny 18-year-old son to the rest of the gang to watch, narrowly setting up your A and B plot. He drives away the same way I drive around in GTA 5. There are some scenes from the season 2 trailer I imagine we will see in this episode, like the boss with the jetpack. The boss is so damn creepy. He just always gets a laugh from me. I'm really excited to see next week's episode that might potentially focus on him. We got 2 more episodes this season, episodes 7 and 8, and I might go back and review some of the episodes I missed as I started reviewing these like halfway through the season. Your boy's gonna try to fix that if I have some time. These are just my thoughts on episode 6 though. What did you guys think about this week's episode? Leave me something about it in the comments below. Please like this video and subscribe and turn on my notifications for whenever I upload. I'd greatly appreciate that. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, Space Cowboy.